Is there a moment that you've been in as an actor that now you wish you could go back and just know what it would have been like to be on the other side of the camera, to be able to see that
Oh,
moment
wow.
differently with a director's perspective?
That's really cool.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah, so I got to tell you, so I was raised on the great '80s slasher movies, and I've honestly always thought it would be such a blast to actually be in one. But I've got to tell you, I've never been able to decide, like, do I want a great death scene? Do I want to be the killer, or do I want to survive for the sequel? So I'm sort of curious, from your perspective, which of those three options are most appealing as an actor? Getting memorably and brutally just ripped apart, being revealed as the killer, or being available for the inevitable part two?
That's a great question. I think originally when we wrote this movie, we were going to kill Billy and I's characters. And then we just got so wrapped up in writing it that like we ended up I mean it's kind of spoiled like
Yeah,
we
do
ended up
people know? Yeah,
surviving.
it's
Whatever, we
It's
survived. It's
fine.
also we're in
Yeah.
every scene of the trip. Like
Butts in seats. We're there the whole time, folks.
This is a weird way to phrase this question, but did, like, you guys were so busy making it, did you forget to kill yourselves?
Well, kind of, I would say. Like, because we're so modest that we couldn't yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, it was one of those things where it is fun to pick sort of which character gets the death, gets like the kind of classic death scene or something that you want to stick in like people's minds and stick with people. So, um for us it was also about, you know, killing people or killing characters and making it about not just like picking them off one by one randomly, like really making it about their character. So every death sort of has
Peanut
to,
butter.
yeah,
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
exactly. It
Exactly.
all kind of has to do with their own ego or sort of problem, so that it didn't feel just like, oh, she's dead, he's dead, like it felt kind of meaningful in some way. But as far as
From
like,
an acting standpoint,
yeah,
though, you know who I think you gotta be?
who?
You gotta be the person who you think makes it all the way to the end. They do something
Yes,
heroic, and then it's the last
a
person
hundred
to die,
percent.
and everyone's like, no,
100%.
oh,
A
he
hundred
got
percent.
Dewey.
You basically
He got
you
Dewey.
have your cake and you eat it too.
Yeah, exactly.
From Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah, yeah.
You got Dewey?
He got Dewey.
Oh, did you
Um,
guys hear Dewey's not coming back?
we were
This
just
was
talking about
listen,
this.
this Kevin, this ruined my day.
I'm sorry.
This was all of
And I'm
yesterday.
and I'm by the way,
We're not
it
joking.
sounds like I'm not joking. Or it sounds like I'm joking, I'm not joking. Anyways.
It's all right. Right now, the studio is going, what the hell? Why is he talking about the Malcolm in the Middle
No,
revival?
I know.
Brett, I've got to ask, did
We're
you have a
back.
preference coming in, man? Like, did you, like, before you even cracked open the script, was it the back of your mind where you like, do I want to survive? Like, did you want to do the epic scream killer, pull the mask off, or
I mean, I've played, I guess, a bunch of characters that have been killed in pretty grisly ways in the past. So much respect to that as well. Um, I don't know. I just love the character that these two built. I felt every single character in this movie is like th- they happen to be in a horror movie. They aren't like horror fixtures themselves because they keep uh, eccentrically being themselves. So even when horror movie stuff happens and they could snap into being heroic, they can't help but still have their own neuroses, and that's what I really responded to. So I was like, live, die, kill or be killed, doesn't matter. It comes down to this character.
honestly, God, like it truly, I'm not blowing smoke. It is a dream of mine to be like in a great '80s sort of slasher movie. So if you guys ever do any kind of
Gotta
a
put
follow
you
up,
in one,
and if you
Jake.
need to
Yeah.
kill a junket guy, like, you know how many people would line up to see me die? It's $1 billion. Yeah, that's like a Marvel box office opening right there. I always love the great stories behind the scenes of where a mask comes from. Like, I love that
Yeah.
Michael Myers mask is William Shatner. I love that. I think Ghostface, they found it like in a house when they were location scouting. They just like randomly came across it, and Wes Craven was like, "You got to get the rights to that." Is there a great story behind the mask?
Well, it was actually based on a mask of David Harbour from Stranger Things. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh,
totally kidding. Um No, well, it came from the title originally, because we didn't know in the script. We knew that there was a killer and that it would be a masked killer, but it was never scripted what the mask was. And so once we found the title, um, and then kind of leaned into sort of more, yeah, the more kind of demonic or like, yeah, hell themed stuff, we sort of were inspired by that. And then Billy found some great inspiration from, like different kind of carnivals and
Yeah, there was a lot of like Ben Cooper sort of vacuum form plastic Halloween masks from like the 50s and 60s, which have like a really awesome kind of eerie, weird quality that like we wanted to pull some of the color palette stuff from. And then, as Finn was saying, there's a lot of like really weird carnival imagery of like elongated faces and devils and
there's one specific image that we looked at that was sort of like it was I don't know if it's like a fun
I
house or a
think it's a
haunted
haunted
house
house or yeah, something where you like walk in through this devil's
mouth,
it
basically,
kind of looks like.
but it's got this kind of elongated face with a kind of pointy chin, and that's kind of where the shape, I guess, came from.
I love it. Honestly, it's so great. Really quick, I'm going to get you guys out of here on this. Finn, now that you have sort of this experience behind the camera, I'm sort of curious, is there a moment that you've been in as an actor that now you wish you could go back and just know what it would have been like to be on the other side of the camera, to be able to see that moment differently with a director's perspective?
That's really cool. You know, I weirdly, like, because I've spent so much time, like usually when I'll act and I'm on a different set, depending on what project it is, if it was something like Stranger Things or somewhere where I really like grew up on the set and grew up like watching and learning from the Duffer Brothers or Sean Levy or whoever was directing, I would always constantly like be behind the director's chair, just like watching them watch it. So I've never, yeah, personally felt exactly what they would feel, but I would try to, as much as possible, like look at it from their perspective. But I mean, I would have liked to have seen. I mean, as far as stuff that I'm in, like when I was really young, like and first starting, like 12 years old, like my first scene, on that show, like I would have liked to have seen that from like an adult's perspective of like, oh, these kids, it's like this, sort of first time these kids are all kind of like, yeah, talking to each other, like at the Dungeons and Dragons table. I would have loved to have like seen that scene from an adult's perspective. But I mean, I probably would have cringed as well. So, yeah, but yeah, it's a great question though.
Thank you. Well, guys, I honestly, I love this movie. They're pulling me out of here. I want to say, I know you have this insanely busy day. Thank you guys for always fit me in your schedule. And this is one of the most beautiful final shots of a movie I've seen in a while. It was absolutely gorgeous. Again, you have a crazy busy day. I appreciate you. Always do fit me in your schedule, and I appreciate you.
Dude,
We appreciate
thanks so
you.
much.
All right, guys. See you later. All right,
Can we make the podcast of a summer or a junket of a summer?
Yeah.
dude. I'm in. I'm telling you, there's so many people that would love to see me killed.
Microphone or something like we will figure.
I'll take it. Yeah, dude, you can find a way. You can find a way. All right, guys. I appreciate you.
Nice
See you guys later.
CJ.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.